Apple's strategy to navigate Trump's tariff threats faces challenges. Over the past few years, Apple Inc., under the leadership of CEO Tim Cook, has undertaken significant measures to redistribute its manufacturing bases across India and Vietnam, moving away from its heavy reliance on China. This strategic pivot was initially propelled by the imposition of tariffs by the Trump administration during its first term, aimed particularly at products manufactured in China. However, the tech giant's attempts to safeguard itself through these geopolitical maneuvers have recently hit a snag, once again linked to Trump's policies. Early this Friday, the landscape of Apple's market valuation altered dramatically, following a statement by former President Donald Trump wherein he asserted that Apple must incur a minimum tariff of 25% unless its iPhones are manufactured in the USA. Apple's market cap saw a staggering reduction of over $100 billion. This underscores the persistent vulnerability of Apple to the whims of trade policies, particularly those influenced by Trump. Despite efforts to reduce dependency on Chinese manufacturing, which still accounts for about 85% of iPhone production, Apple has notably ramped up production capacities in India and Vietnam. March witnessed a record airlift of $2 billion worth of iPhones to the US, just before Trump's announcement of what he termed Liberation Day. Nonetheless, the company's adaptation strategy seems only partially successful in mitigating risks posed by geopolitical tensions and tariff threats. On recent earnings calls, Tim Cook highlighted that the majority of iPhones sold in the US are expected to originate from India, with Vietnam being a major producer for other key Apple products. Furthermore, Apple has announced a significant investment plan in the US amounting to over $500 billion over the next 4 years, aiming to bolster their US presence, including a new server factory in Texas and the addition of 20,000 jobs. Yet the recent resurgence in tariff threats from Trump evidences the ongoing challenges Apple faces. Trump's directive pointedly emphasized his expectation for iPhones sold in the US to be manufactured and built domestically, failing which a hefty tariff would be imposed. This scenario places additional pressure on Apple, which is already grappling with the potential of a $900 million tariff-related financial impact this quarter. Despite these challenges, skepticism remains about the feasibility of moving iPhone production to the US entirely. Analysts argue that such a shift could escalate iPhone prices significantly, potentially up to $3,500 each, making it economically unviable for consumers and for Apple itself. The sentiment is echoed by a broader market concern that relocating all manufacturing to the US is unrealistic and would not align with current consumer price expectations. Moreover, Trump's tariff discourse is not limited to Apple. He similarly suggested imposing tariffs on other foreign tech manufacturers, including Samsung, unless they set up manufacturing bases in the US. His administration recommended even more severe tariffs, like a 50% rate on the European Union, indicating a broader strategy that could have far-reaching impacts on the global tech industry and beyond. In conclusion, while Apple has taken proactive steps to diversify its manufacturing and reduce exposure to unfavorable trade policies, the company continues to face significant hurdles. These challenges highlight the intricate balance between global manufacturing strategies and the unpredictability of geopolitical influences. Thank you for choosing Satori News.